Yeah, it's Mercy. Music by Mercy again. Heat Nation, we the culture. Yo, E, I need you to call time out. Need Brady to set the floor plan. Tropical blanket, open for the shot. Yo, Greg, set the pit. Still 5 on the floor, still ride for my dog. Still battle on the court, still survive in the war. Keep your eye on the ball, or get burned from the keep this mic off the wall without turning the cheek. From night to day, no sleeping cats or allowed to morning. The nut is sleeping us, never catch us snoring. Live from Miami, report in the heat with 5 reasons sports from the courts to the streets. Yeah, Wake County, Heat Nation, we say it proudly.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Alex Toledo, Brady Hawk, and others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Also, make sure to subscribe to Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere.
All right, welcome into 5 on the Floor Live. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me, Ethan J. Skolnick on 5 Reasons Sports. I got Brady Hawk. You can follow me at Brady Hawk 305. Also, check out the takeaways that Brady just put up on the On SI Miami Heat site, which we run. Alex Toledo having some technical issues, but he should be back here any minute. You can follow him at Tropical Blanket. The Miami Heat lose 130-120 against the Los Angeles Lakers, the LeBron-less Lakers. No Norm Powell tonight, still no Tyler Hero. The Heat played fast. I'm not sure they played that well. We'll get into patches of the game where they look like themselves. Led tonight by, and we'll probably get into this in the player of the night, but Jaime Jaquez Jr., again, is the first-round pick that has been popping. 31 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, did have 4 turnovers, but he was the one making plays. And then you take a look at the rest of the group here. Bam Adebayo, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. I still think there's more they could have tapped into him with tonight, or tapped into with him tonight. Pelle Larsson starting for Norm Powell, 17 points as a spot starter, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Davion Mitchell, 8 points, 8 assists. Andrew Wiggins, 15 points, 9 rebounds. Didn't think it was his best night. Kel'el Ware played just 12 minutes. There are reasons for that. 7 points, 4 rebounds. Off the bench, I mentioned Jaquez, 31 points tonight. Alex has joined us now. Nikola Jovic, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Kind of a up and down for him as well. Drew Smith, 7 points, 3 assists. And Simone Fontecchio, I did not think had his strongest game. 9 points, 4 rebounds tonight in 19 minutes. On the other side, Luka Doncic was held under 40. Still got a triple-double, though. 29, 11, and 10. Austin Reeves, 26, 4, and 11. But the 2 problem players for the Heat tonight were Jackson Hayes, who didn't miss a shot, 15 and 5, and worked Kel'el Ware early in the game. And Jake LaRavia, who had, I'm just going to read these, 35 minutes, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. What the hell is that stat line? Brady, why did things go wrong tonight? Other than the free throws, which I should have mentioned, because they missed, 10 of those? 10 of those? 11 of those?
Yeah. There was a lot of things. I mean, they keep doing this thing where they go down in these games, specifically without Powell, where they make the run late in the third quarter. It's usually when they go to the zone and they make a run that usually when their other team's best players out of the game. And then I'm kind of in the back of my head saying to myself, I don't really trust this rotation of players to close out this game against a good team. So that's number one takeaway, is I'm kind of just looking around and not doing the thing where you kind of like, you lose a game and you talk about the guys that didn't play. But I mean, it does get to a point where when you're talking about how fast they're playing, which is great, but I'm looking at the 3-point shooting tonight, which I think is the number one story before I get into the other side of the ball. They just couldn't shoot. I mean, they were 1 for 12 for about a quarter and a half. At the 1-3, funny enough, you talk about, Kel'el not playing well and playing in the first 5 minutes. He was the only guy who hit a 3 for like the first 18 minutes of the game. So they just couldn't shoot. And it's like, yeah, it's like when Jaime has 31 points and he's attacking and Bam is your other – if Bam, Pella, and Jaime are your 3 leading scorers, that's all coming from the paint. Like, it's all coming from inside, which is great. You're getting inside. But the kicks are not there because nobody's able to kind of capitalize from there. And it just has you thinking, number one, you need your 2 elite shooters and scorers in Tyler and Powell. but you also need them late in the game after you make the run, because I just don't trust them to capitalize off that run that they made a little bit later. And then defensively, I mean, the numbers are a little weird now because, I mean, the first half they were loud. I mean, the efficiency was there. I didn't feel like the defense was great. They kind of turned it up a little bit in the third quarter. I thought the defense was better, but I still thought the Lakers just like honestly missed a lot of open shots still. Like I feel like this could have been worse, like defensively. Like they're like Reeves was missing a lot of open ones. There was just a lot of miscues from the Lakers that I definitely think the defense needs to be better. And the reason why there's a little bit of worry is, as I'm talking about Hero and Powell coming back, the defense is not getting any better when those guys return. I mean, it's going to just make the offense a little bit brighter later in the game, and the shooting probably looks better, but defensively they kind of need to get that figured out. Because, look, the start of games, I don't want to put it all on Ware because it's unfair to do that. He gets singled out in a lot of these situations, and Spo pulling him is just him trying to, maybe get to him in a way to kind of make him play harder, but it's also – Spo watched him get pulled into every pick and roll to start this game, and he couldn't have him out there any longer. So when I talk about the defensive stuff, it's number one, where is the clear guy in that lineup? If you're in a lineup with Davion Mitchell, Pella Larson, Andrew Wiggins, and Bam Adebayo, you're going to go at Khalil Ware. It's natural. Like that's the one guy you're going to attack because that's the one like little bit of space you're going to find, and they found that. And I'm just kind of noticing. I mean, and there's other lineups as well where they're just searching for the weaker defender. So look for that to come. I mean, when Tyler comes back or Powell, it was stronger to start the season, but like if your rotation is a little bit weaker defensively, that's going to continue to happen. So the only way to combat that is you have to shoot better. I mean, they did that in the first couple of games of the season. That's why they had a 3-1 start to the season. They were shooting well. That's got to change. They figured out the paint thing though. I mean, they're getting to the basket at a rate that I didn't think they would with this roster. I didn't see it in them. Like Davion's doing it at a higher rate. Jaime's doing it at a really high rate. I can go down the line. Like they're able to do that. But as we've learned in this league, a bunch of twos is not going to beat a team that's firing up threes at an efficient rate. So there was just a lot of things that was kind of going against them. And a team that's focused on threes and defense did not really have a lot of threes and defense in this game.
I'm going to take this a different direction than some of the commenters are going here, but I want to ask Alex a question related to two players in particular, because I don't think it's just about these two guys, but it is striking how Jaquez has flourished in pretty much every game but one, but two guys can't find their footing, and I think most people had these two players ahead of Jaquez this year. Who are you more concerned about right now in terms of fit and how comfortable Spoelstra is going to be with them going forward? Ware or Jovic?
Well, who am I more concerned about? I would say, regarding the rotation, it would be Ware. I think that became obvious tonight. Like Brady's talked about, he's been the guy who, the leash gets really tightened if he has bad stretches. So I think it's obvious, like with him coming off the bench in the second half there, and I think he didn't play the entire second quarter. I got to go look at that.
You're right.
I double check, but I think that should tell you where he's at. I'm not out on Ware. There's no way Jovic should be playing backup 5. I just think that's probably what Ware is going to be relegated to if it continues. I don't know if it's going to be next game, or I don't know, because they've got Zubac coming up tomorrow night, so should be interesting to see. But the Clippers play a big front court with him and Collins, big-ish. So I think you can afford to give him another night to prove himself. But the Clippers are going to be another test. I do think Ware just has the shorter leash because there's just little things I think by now you'd hope that he'd be doing a little bit better, and it's just not there. It's the same issues. He's gotten, I would say a little bit better, but the same issues are still there. You know what I mean? It's the same stuff with the pick and roll defense, the same stuff with the boxing out, the same stuff with just kind of the way he'll at times be in no man's land on defense or go for a block that's not necessary. I think once he fixes these things, he's going to be a very good player in this league. But Spo he's not trying to deal with that stuff. He's trying to win games. He doesn't want to just give him the time to fix it on the fly. He's like, no, you can't be making these mistakes, that we've been working on with you. I'm assuming most likely they've been working on with him in these film sessions. I'm sure they've been on him about this. So I think Ware is the answer, but I'm not trying to take away blame from Jovic because it's just been obvious that those two have been the most disappointing in the rotation so far, and both of them still have a lot of time to make it up. But yeah, Nico has had flashes of good stuff, just like Ware has, to be fair. but like the consistency has just not been there with him. Even that one game where he had 20 and had the nice stat line, it was kind of in garbage time, a lot of it. To be fair, he was affecting when, before it was a blowout too. But like, just Nico hasn't had that consistent like play of, okay, the shooting is there, the passing is there. I thought the second half there, he played a lot better and he was making some nice plays. When we get to see him be more of a connector than just a spot up shooter, that's when I like it. Like, I'm not saying run a bunch of pick and roll with Ware, but I mean, like with him next to Ware, him next to Bam. But I think they've got to find a way to get Nico the ball just a little bit more, because it can't just be catch and shoot threes for him.
I thought there was that stretch when Ware came back in the second half. I thought he was a little bit better. He was more active. He was making second efforts. I know that's what Spo wants to see. I think we're heading towards a place where neither of them is going to start. I had this conversation with Sean Rochester on one of the pods. I think, and I know some Heat fans are not thrilled with Wiggins, who played 37 minutes tonight, by the way, most on the team. I think he's going to be starting at the 4 soon. I think the most likely scenario, and this is, it's funny because James, and we appreciate the super chat here. We always will read these comments. Why I disagreed highly with Alex, said that Davion can't be benched even with Hero back. Davion isn't nearly good enough offensively to be a permanent starter. But I understand what you're saying there, but I think Davion may start because I don't think that Spo is comfortable with either Ware or Jovic right now. And I
Just
think
to be
that
fair, I didn't say that he shouldn't be. I mean, that he can't be benched. I just think that would be my preference. But like, I think like them going to Tyler, Norm, and Wiggins as their 1, 2, 3 when those guys are healthy again is more likely.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the closing lineup this year. And I think the closing lineup may end up being the starting lineup where he just goes with Wiggins at the start, and Heat fans just complain how small they are. But I don't know. I don't see Jovic finding his fit right now, and he doesn't trust Ware enough. You can't have a situation where the coach, every other game, there's a possibility that the coach is going to pull a starter to start the second half because he doesn't like the way he's doing the little things. Like, I just don't think Spo's going to continue to do that. Like, I know I said, remember, guys, I did say that I thought they kept Precious around as long as they did because they wanted somebody to just show energy there, and that Spo might yank him. He's already yanking him. Like, this is, and he doesn't even have Precious, and so he's running Jovic as a backup 5. I think that's where we're headed. I think that they've gotten Jaquez to pop a certain way. Maybe they'll play Jaquez with Ware and Jovic off the bench to play all 3 of them. But it feels like that's kind of where we're headed. Let's get to the player of the night, and then I want to ask you a little bit about Pella also tonight, and then also specifically what happened with LaRavia and Hayes specifically, because the two, you can't. What did they give up to the two of them tonight? They gave up 40 points to Jackson Hayes and Jake LaRavia. Like, you're not winning that game, especially when you miss the free throws. All right, let's get to the player of the night.
And now it's time for the A Aggressive Insurance Player of the Night, sponsored by our friend Lynette. You can find her at insurancebylynette.com. That's with 2 N's and 2 T's, insurancebylynette.com. If you need car insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, or any other type of insurance, she's the person to go to. Based in Lauderhill, she services the entire Tri-County area here in South Florida, and she will make sure to get you the best deal. She'll probably talk to you about the Heat while you're at it. Reach out to her, insurancebylynette.com. And now, the player of the game.
One more thing here before I forget. Ware's worst performance to me last year during the regular season was against Zubac. So I'm concerned about tomorrow night and how that's going to look. He got worked.
And then it's Brook Lopez off the bench, so he gets no breaks.
Right. It's going to be problematic. I mean, it's Jaime, right? Again, like Brady, like seems like every night it's Jaime. 31, 8, 4. Did have the 4 turnovers, but I mean, he's making plays. Like he's relentless. And it's continuing every single night. Really, he had the one bad night with the efficiency, but that's been it.
The one bad night because of the matchup. Because it was like the Spurs taking away the paint and having that deterrent in Wemby around the basket. And it was kind of felt that, like, I mean, look, he's been their most consistent player. And the fact that we're saying that, like, considering where we were, like, coming out of training camp is pretty crazy. But he's just been so good. He has the ball in his hands 24/7. And that hasn't been a bad thing. Like, I haven't heard many people saying, like, I know we're saying, okay, like, Nico needs the ball in his hands more at times or this and that. like he hasn't made it like a ton of mistakes. Like good things have come from him on the basketball. He's getting into the paint. Like I said earlier, they're getting the initial stuff there. It's just the kickouts, making those threes off the kicks. But he's been efficient around the basket. The biggest thing, I think that they said it was his career high in free throw attempts. He's getting to the line at that rate is pretty incredible. Like it got to a point last year where anytime he turned, he was losing the ball because people figured him out. And now people can't really figure out his next move right now. Like he's kind of just taking contact, getting to the line, playing aggressive, the putback dunks. He's running the floor well. Like how many times did I see him tonight where he's scoring with 20 to 16 seconds left on the shot clock? Like that's important. Like he's attacking early in the clock. He's getting stuff done. He has not stuck out defensively to me at all this season. Like there at any point, like he's not been somebody that's gotten to attacked. He's been good on the boards. He's been good. He's just simply been good. So a 30-point game. I mean, it also was kind of expected, not only the matchup, but also playing in LA. It feels like he always gets a boost in this environment going back over there. But yeah, he's just been so strong. And then it's just if they could figure out a way. The only thing I'm curious about, and this is more big picture and not about tonight, but like when they do get Norm and Tyler back, like I wonder if things stay the same. I do think it does, but like, can you keep Jaime on the ball as much as he's been with those two guys back? Because if they can figure that out, like that's a tough thing to deal with. Because if you have those two guys on the edges, you cannot help off. And if they do slightly help off, you're creating a really fun offense in the half court for Tyler and Powell to kind of run off of and run off closeouts or take that open three. So if this can sustain into those two guys coming back healthy, I mean, that's going to be something to look at.
I think Powell's going to play tomorrow night too, by the way. The sense was he was relatively close tonight, but they didn't want to push it on the back-to-back. And, obviously he wants to play against the Clippers. He's got a thing against the Clippers. He felt that the Clippers were not honest with him about planning to extend him. I would absolutely expect him to be on the floor tomorrow. Tyler's not going to be, of course, but I do expect that Powell will be, and he'll slot right back in. And so I guess one question before we get to the play of the night, when he slots back in, Larson gets minutes off the bench or no? Passing up on threes concerns me. I know we don't want him taking a ton of them, but there were a couple situations tonight where I thought he bogged down possessions by not taking them. He still gets a bad whistle, but he also makes plays though, right? Like he's still going to play somewhere, we think.
He definitely makes plays, and I think he's deserving. But like just tonight, what did he play? He went with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did he go with 9 guys tonight?
Yeah, he only played 9.
That's the thing. I'm always down to play 10. They have more than enough to play 10. Like Pella is deserving. I thought showed that last season and has played well when he's played this season. I think, and he matches what they do. Like he likes to attack the basket and pass the ball. Like he showed that he can do that stuff in summer league. Of course, he's not going to handle the ball to that level that he did in summer league, but he is capable of attacking in a physical way and making a pass. Like he has that in his game, and the three has frankly looked a little bit better to me this season without looking at percentages. It's looked a little cleaner to me. I think he's a deserving player, even if it's like a back end rotation spot. I think if you're giving Nico and Ware, obviously those guys are first round picks, but if you're giving them the chance to keep playing, which I believe you obviously should, I think Pella is deserving too. Like he's really checked off a lot of boxes for you when you have given him chances since his rookie year.
Pella, I think Pella and Jaime have a better connection than I expected. Also, there were a couple of plays that they made some things happen. But Brady, here's the thing: if Simone is not shooting well, like he wasn't tonight, there were some situations where he could have made some game-turning shots and didn't. Also, that little drive he has, I don't feel good about that. A lot of the times when he's going to the basket. Can you see some nights where Spo goes to Larson instead of Fontecchio in the second half once he's got Powell and Hero and he doesn't necessarily need the extra shooting?
Oh, for sure. That's what I was going to say. Even Fontecchio this was not his best game, as you mentioned, and I think they knew that, but they still had to do it because the only way they were going to possibly win this game was for him to just for somebody to click from 3, for somebody to kind of turn on, and he's the only guy out there that really had the chance of doing it. He obviously didn't end up having it, but when they have Tyler and Norm out there, 100%. I think there's a lot of nights if Fontecchio doesn't have it going early in the game, like I think he's going to have a quick leash and they can go to Pella. Now, I'm not turning away from Fontecchio after the great start to the season he had, and one game bad, you turn away. But it's also the same thing when he's at his highest. I mean, it's like there's going to be like Fontecchio is not going to play the way he did in those first 4 games for the rest of the season. There's going to be low points. There's going to be high points. So you kind of, when you have a deep roster, you kind of have to roll with the punches a little bit. So there's going to be nights I think that Pella makes more sense. Just being scrappy. I mean, I thought he did play really well. The issue was, I know you guys were just mentioning it, but like he played like the perfect game if they had a number 1 scorer on the court. Like he was like the perfect guy that we'd be talking about. Oh, like that role player pushed them over the top, but they didn't have that on-ball guy. So when they do have that on-ball guy or 2 of them, I think he could be heavily utilized. And I keep talking about the defense, but defensively they're going to need. Look, they need guys that could play, that can defend the wing and the guard, because I'm looking at the way they're defending right now, and especially when they get back to their real rotation with Tyler back and Norm back, they're going to be switching a ton. That they need some guys that are versatile, and Pella is one of those guys. I mean, you're seeing him go from Reeves to Luka, and he's done it in a lot of these other matchups before. The thing has just been about not fouling as much, and I thought he did a pretty good job today of just kind of containing. So if he can keep that up, 100% he could be in the rotation. So I think it's kind of a fluctuating door, which was kind of what we predicted before the season, but we didn't think Jaime would be the sticking point. We thought Jaime would be a part of that revolving door, and he has become an absolute sticking point of this rotation.
He's been their most consistent player, honestly. I mean, we're going to talk about the other guy in a second because I know people want us to talk about Bam. But let's get to the play of the night.
And now it's time for the X-Ray of the Play of the Day, brought to us by our friends over at Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services. Nelson and his team will bring the X-ray equipment and the staffing to you. If you work in a hospital or a medical office, get a consultation today at c-armandstaffing.com or give them a call at 561-891-9620. Their fleet of trucks at your service. Again, it's Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services, 561-891-9620. And now, the X-Ray of the Play of the Day.
All right, which Jake LaRavia player are we picking? There was some stuff he was doing. We've seen him do some of this in Summer League against the Heat, actually, when he was with Memphis. He had a game like this, but it wasn't Summer League. I was going to pick one of the Ware plays against Hayes, where Ware's just completely lost him. There was some good stuff that the Heat did offensively too. I mean, they got themselves back into this. They got a lead where they got within 1 or 1 point lead. Was there one that jumped out to you though, Alex? Play tonight?
Oh no, I'm honestly not from the Heat side. I'm sure there's some good ones, but just nothing is coming to mind right now. I guess
is it just the missed free throws? With a play of the night, the missed free throws? Like I feel like
it's hard not to talk about it. Like they took 13, I think, more free throw attempts than the Lakers did. Like that could have been a huge advantage for you, despite all the missed threes. Because to be fair, the Lakers missed a lot of threes too. They did not shoot well from 3. Like that could have been evened out, and they could have, man. Like those are points that are literally there for you. They missed 11.
Well, okay, how about this? Let's give Drew a little credit. Drew's whatever that slow play thing he did on Luka. You know what? I'll give Drew credit for that. That there was
Drew Smith Pinoy step.
He's got this like old man. Really, everything he does is like old man game. Like Drew is like a 62-year-old in a 27-year-old body. Like everything he does there. I thought he was fine tonight. He made some mistakes. I think that sometimes we can't get too carried away with what Mitchell and Smith are going to do as point guards, okay? There are going to be nights where it just doesn't look great, where they're just overmatched in some ways, either Mitchell's size or Smith in athleticism, and then there are going to be some turnovers. Like this is ultimately Brady, right? Like you don't want them having to play in that role, right? They're complementary players.
100%. They're complementary players, and this is not the ultimate role for these two guys on like this game or the Spurs game. Like I keep mentioning these guys, but like those guys were like their role is built for when Tyler and Norm are here. Like their whole thing scoring wise is like, okay, I'm gonna go defend on one end, but on offense, I'm not gonna have the ball in my hands that much. I'm gonna play make, but teams are gonna help off me, and I'm just gonna have to make threes. And now it's gotten to a point where, I mean, Davion and Andrew are just kind of having to create a lot when Jaime's not on the floor. Like it's usually Davion, because usually Drew's playing with Jaime and Drew's done a good job playing off of him. But Davion's has had to create just a good amount of time. So like I haven't seen him get an open three in a while. Like Davion's like fighting for looks where he's kind of getting into the paint. He's trying to do his flip shot. He's playmaking well, but it's like it's such a different role than what he's going to get into. So I know you said we're going to get into it, but like the only two guys that roles are pretty consistent, other than jumping up the leaderboard a little bit from being the third or fourth options to being the first and second, is Bam and Wiggins. I mean, their roles are pretty similar spots on the floor they're operating. I just feel like, look, Wiggins, it's hard to say this because like I just keep saying that the shooting has to be there. Like they keep getting into the paint, they can do that. Wiggins has the ability to get in the paint, he could do that, but he's leaning into the three so much partly because I guess they need it, but I feel like he's kind of been in a spot where he's forcing some shots, which is funny to say because I've been pushing him. We've all been talking about wanting him to be aggressive and do all this stuff, but it's like some of the shots, it's like it feels forced where it's early clock, just catch and fire. Like it's not like good set shots or him like working, even if he's taking those sidestep mid ranges. At times it just felt like shots that like aren't in his wheelhouse, that like he's kind of just forcing. And then Bam, I thought felt like he was involved in the game early on, but he kind of just got lost in the mix a little bit after Jaime got going. Like once he kind of took over on the ball, Jaime starts playing well, so Jaime stays in the game when Bam comes back, and it kind of leans into Jaime's way, and then Bam kind of got lost in the mix a little bit. And it's just that becomes problematic. Like that's the stuff I keep bringing up their names, but that's what doesn't happen when you have Tyler and Powell. Not saying it's a different result, but when Tyler and Powell come in, when Tyler and Powell come in because they're going to get the ball, they're going to create, they're going to shoot, they're going to dominate in that side of the floor. That it just felt like there was no like new element throughout the game once Jaime got going. It just felt like things got a little stale. So it's as much as like they need more from Nico and Ware just to be better as players. They need them as just progressing as young players. But the Bam and Wiggins part just feels like they're just kind of like waiting for Norman Tyler to come back so they can get back to their third and fourth option roles.
Am I frozen again?
Oh, you are. I didn't even notice.
Staple, yeah.
Oh,
I think that just happened though.
Yeah.
No, apparently, according to Donut here in the comments, it's gone on for a long time. So I never know what face I'm frozen in until the next morning because right now it looks like I'm moving, but nobody tells me here. Thank you. Donut says it's hideous. I'll just close this thing because it's almost 30 minutes. I gotta take my daughter to school.
Can I hop in with something?
No, because I gotta get up early. Go ahead. What you got 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
All right, I got you. I'll sum it up really quick.
Please.
Bam should be a better fit in what they're doing. He can attack and make a pass. He can't just be a spot up big. That's a huge thing. Second of all, they played so much better in the second half, and it just didn't matter because of the hole that they put themselves with the missed free throws, the missed threes, and the turnovers. They did it to themselves. And yeah, Bam needs to be better, especially when these two guys are out. He's got to drive to the freaking paint and make a play.
I'm frozen again. I could be doing anything now. Nobody would know what the hell I'm doing. So we appreciate that. By the way, I was on Channel 7 tonight, so I jinxed all this because they had to record it on WSBN.
Were you frozen on there?
No, I should have been, but I recorded it at 8 o'clock talking about how well the Heat have been playing. And of course it aired during the Heat game because, they had to record it early before the Laker game did. So I jinxed all of this. Anyway, appreciate everybody joining. If on Prize Picks, you use the code 5FIVE and you had 9:30 as the hour that Greg Sylvander would fall asleep and you went under, you won. What did you, Alex? Did you actually ask on playback if he was still awake, as if there was any chance of that?
I mean, look, I hadn't looked at the phone, but I like we did the poll on our Discord, which by the way, link in description. But we did the poll on our Discord about whether he was going to make it or not, and the overwhelming majority voted against it. And look, man, let's Leif. I understand, man. You get up real early, like you carry us throughout all the season, man. It's all good.
In his sleep, he's not listening to this right now. Trust me.
He'll
There's
listen.
No way he's going
listen.
back tomorrow. He listens the next day. He does listen the next day. He will. He'll listen on his way to work.
Just no pressure, man. Like you got us throughout the whole season, man. These late games, I know they're tough for you. You get up at like 4 a.m. That's for you, Leif. We've got your back.
We got a 10:30 game tomorrow night. Although I don't have to take my
So
daughters
much
to
for
that.
iced coffee. He was talking about iced coffee in the Discord.
Oh God! All right, I'm gonna unfreeze now. I speaking of iced coffee, I'm frozen. Brady's takeaways are up. Alex wrote our biggest story ever. It was like an injury report about Powell. It's on the Sports Illustrated site. It's still like 6 million views on all this stuff. Anyway, Heater 3-3. It's not so bad. Powell's back tomorrow, we believe. Hero going to be back soon. They've gotten some good performances from some players. I'm not overly concerned yet. It's you could be the Hawks right now, or you could be the Pelicans or the Grizzlies, the Pelicans especially. So it could be worse. I appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you. Thanks for the comments as well. We always appreciate the donations. Subscribe to Prize Picks. Subscribe to Off the Floor. Subscribe to all of our stuff. We got something new called Novig coming. We got to get paid for these late hours. Have a good one, everybody.